So I have no idea how good audio quality is going to be. This audio quality on this could be very bad, but I'm just going to record this and hope it's good. But, okay, so the last video I made was like, kind of like me setting up all my crap, which explains how I set up my crap. I want to explain what I have and some of the problems you'll have if you have this setup. Now, who else would have this setup? No one else is having this setup. It's so stupid, and just do not buy it. Okay, this is all expensive history, but I'm gonna go through it. Okay, so my PC, I'm just gonna list the specs in the description, but this is what I'm running on, and everything runs pretty good. It's not horrible, and I typically record while I play with OBS at 1080 60 FPS, and you know, I don't crash often. So yeah, I know these temps suck, as you can see by my case. I also have my AC and shit off, so the mic quality is better, but I doubt it's gonna be good. But okay, so I have 4 2.0 base stations, and the reason I'm using, like, let me just say, I don't like 2.0s. I'm using them because the 1.0s limit you to 2. So if I want 4, like this, I have to have the 2.0s. They give me a weird jitter issue. I know it's because of the base stations. No, I don't care. No one help me. I've tried everything. It doesn't work. It's the house. Okay, I tried it at a different house. It's fine. And yeah, I have 2 more sitting over here because I got them with the Vive Pro I got the whole kit when I bought it. I tried using them for my setup, but it's just so horrible. Like, I tried using them as a floor kind of thing to get my chest when I bend down more, but it messes with your play space. It doesn't like having the floor ones, and if I don't have them on the floor, having 6 in the air is useless. So yeah, I have Vive Pro sitting over there too. I got some Vive ones. This is just like random crap. Yes, I have fucking 32 gigs of RAM just sitting over here. Don't worry about this area. There's a hard drive. Just don't worry about it. Okay, so then I have 8 2.0s. Every single one has a little like battery pack because it's the 2.0s. So the battery is kind of meh. Now, because I don't really play that long just because of the discomfort after all this, after a couple hours, I do tend to play like 4 hours sometimes. I don't really push the battery limit on this, is what I'm trying to say. But I play with these plugged in just in case the rare occasion that I do, they're just constantly charging. So these basically have never died on me because these things are insane. This is like, I think it adds like 10 hours on top of the already existing 4. And yeah, so every single one of these has a battery pack with it plugged in. And why are they plugged in right now? Because I just hopped off to make this video, and I just didn't unplug them yet. But yeah, so when I charge these, I don't actually charge them, I just charge the little battery packs. And why is this one on? I have no idea. And it just started up Steam VR. Okay. So, controllers, I have the index controllers, obviously. These ones are pretty scuffed because they're my main pair. There's no stick drift. I mean, there is a tiny bit of stick drift, but it's not really bad. I haven't corrected it with Dead Zone because it's not like, it's bad drift, but it doesn't happen often. So it's kind of like a trade-off. The finger tracking on the left one's a bit off with the ring finger, and I think it's because this thing shifts, but I don't know, these are kind of scuffed. And then yeah, I do have another pair. These ones are completely busted in like multiple ways. I'm not going to go over why, or like what they're messed up in, but they have tape on them to indicate these are the sucky ones. They're just broken in every way, so I use these for like everything besides VR chat. Because the only reason I like these for VR chat is the finger tracking. So if I'm not playing VR chat, why waste thumbstick usage and lifespan? And just, yeah, I have a scuffed pair. So that's what that's for. And then I have, these are for my arms. for the elbow trackers because it really irritates my skin. So I wear these just to soften the strap, even though this is very comfortable material. Yeah. So I have to do it. This is just an extra belt that I use. These are for my ankle straps because, yes, I know they sell ankle straps, but they don't have the battery pack strap with it. So if I want to use this, I have to have some other method, and I just use these. And yes, I do have a lot more straps and extra stuff in here. I don't know why I have this. I have a random tether in here. I have another tether in here somewhere. I don't know. I have a lot of spare stuff. And then, okay, so before I go over this fucking monstrosity, that thing is insane. The reason some of these straps look weird is because they are weird. Not one of my straps is stock. And for these four, the reason they're not stock, the reason they have this weird thing going on with tape and Velcro is because the Velcro wore out. And I mean, yes, the foot straps are pretty old, but these elbow ones are not even that old, and they wore out. And I think it's just because they're tightening around such a small area, the feet and the elbows, that, I don't know, maybe they just wore out earlier, but the material feels fine, but it just will not stick to this. And yeah, I've cleaned this part of it before, and it just won't stick. So, yeah, I have this kind of method to... I attach Velcro on top of Velcro. It works, but it's not gonna last forever because it's tape on cloth. So I don't know. I may just buy new straps eventually, but this works for now. Okay, they don't fall off very often. They still fall off. But the knees I have extended because because I tend to wear them like on my thighs because it stays up better. So to get around that width, I have to have an extended strap. And that's probably why these straps haven't worn out in Velcro, is because the Velcro is not being used at all, basically. I have another random Amazon strap. And these straps are different because the Velcro is so long that I basically, all I had to do was just create a soft side for here. And by doing that, I just wrapped a couple Velcro cable ties on here. And it basically created like a soft surface to stick it onto. So yeah, that's how those ones are extended. And the waist is... Oh, okay, I lied. Because this actually is completely stock. The hip is completely stock. The only reason I say it's not is because I'm using a belt with it. But yeah, chest is really complicated. I can't explain it. It's basically a bra, because it goes around your shoulders and your torso. You'll see how I attach it in the video, but I don't really know how to explain it. So that's just how the chest works. Now this absolute fucking disaster of shit. It's a work in progress. I've bought some accessories to, add extra. Well, I have the extra comfort that I need to make this comfortable and balance the weight, but I've bought some stuff to make it look better. Because as you can see, this thing, it doesn't really look very safe at all. It looks like a goddamn bomb. And I mean, in a way it is a bomb because it has a battery on it. But okay, so what's going on here is what I'm doing right now is not supposed to work. Having Vive Pro eye tracking works wirelessly natively. Having a Vive Pro wirelessly works natively. Same with the original Vive. But when you add this little face tracker, Serenipol says, you are not allowed to use that wirelessly. Now, as you saw, I was able to get it working wirelessly. Now, it takes a very long time. The shortest time I've taken to get on VR is maybe like 10-12 minutes. But this thing can take up to 30 minutes to get working. Because Serenipol 8-track, Steam VR crashes. It likes to crash. So, this thing is a pain, but once it's up, it's up. And to me, it's worth the time because it's just so fun to be completely wireless. I feel like I can do anything I want. However, you gotta get there, and there's some stuff that I've done to make it comfortable. Number one, the Vive Pro strap by default just isn't comfortable in my head, so the majority of this padding is just because of the Vive Pro. So this thing is like 3 layers of foam, because like I said, it just isn't comfortable for me. I had to do a lot of modifications. So let me go through everything here. I'll start like at the headset itself, like the inside, I guess. So I have prescription lenses in here, and no, they do not sell official prescription lenses for the Vive Pro I. Probably because it's a very, very rare headset, and it's not very popular because of its price. So what I have here is these little 3D. I have like a lot of prototype / spares over here. They're these little 3D printed things that they're just 3D printed things. They hold a little circular lens, and they have cutouts for the IR lasers for the eye tracking feature. I don't know how eye tracking works. I just know there's like IR sensors in there, so they go around the lens, and there's a very specific website you can buy lenses off that fit perfectly in here. However, they will not fit if you don't print them very precise. So that's why there's so many prototypes, because they would either crack, so we had to use different filament, or the lens wouldn't sit right, or it wouldn't sit right around the actual lens of the headset. I'm not ever taking these out because they're in a position where the eye tracking works pretty efficiently. Does it work as good as it was if they weren't in here? Obviously not. But it's just something I can't do anything about, because I don't want to wear what are those called? Contacts. I don't want to wear contacts. And you can't wear glasses, it screws with the eye tracking too much. So yeah, that's what's going on here. Is we got like some prescription lens thing. The tape is in here to keep it secure, because if they move the slightest bit, it fucks up the eye tracking. Alright, so the face tracker. This thing does not stay on for shit. Okay, the little adhesive they give you works for about like 2 days. Now, some of that is because I'm very rough with my headsets. But, like just look at it, dude, just putting it down. I've gotten used to having to angle my headset, because if you just put it down, it's going to smash the thing right off. It's really annoying to get this thing to stay on. Now, I did find a 3D printed mount thing, and I'm trying to get that printed by one of my friends so I can get it to mount more, or less scuffed in a way, because this is quite literally duct taped on here. And no, I'm not going to use glue because I don't like using glue. This thing, like the actual camera sensor, you gotta clean this really frequently, like minimum once per session, because it gets so dirty and it will not track at all. It'll just like your tongue and so, like sticking out your tongue, whatever. It gets dirty really fast, and it may not look dirty, but sometimes when you look at it from angles, you can see the spit dried up. Also, the actual angle of the tracker, according to the headset, you have to make sure that's very precise too, or else it won't track very well. You have to flatten it. It has to like flatten very perfectly. I don't know how to explain it, but you want to like exactly a 90-degree angle towards your mouth, and it's kind of hard to do when you can't see what it looks like externally on your head. So yeah, just mess around with it. Now, okay, these headphones are great, but they don't really, I feel like there's not enough pressure on your head. So the rubber bands are just there to increase tension. Again, very scuffed, but it's what, I do a lot of scuffed things because it's hard to find specific things, like, because these have to be made, like, professionally, and they're not, because these are such nitpicky things. Okay, but then yeah, wireless adapter, and this wireless adapter has a fan hooked up to it, because this thing gets hotter than the Vive Pro 2, and if you know what that headset does, dude, that thing gets so hot. But yeah, you literally, if you don't have this, you will crash. Like, this thing will crash. So this thing is here just to kind of cool it down. Now this battery. I really like this one because it's got this little LED display on it. But it is really hard to find a balance between weight, size, and capacity. This one gives me about 3.5 to 4 hours. I'm pretty content with that as of now, but it just takes so long to find a good battery. Like, I don't have all of them here, but the little HTC one does not last for shit. So this one I wouldn't use. This one I have is too large in size, as in no matter how I mount it, whenever I shake my head around, it's just pulling my neck, and I'm gonna kill myself if I use that. I did just buy one over here. However, this one is it's dense, but it's way too heavy. Just know, it's just so heavy on my neck. So this is the one I've been chilling with for now, and you know, on top of that, it's got a cool little LED display, so I kind of like this one. And yes, I have it duct taped and velcroed very securely, because the less thing this moves, the more rigid it is with the body of the headset, the more comfortable it's going to be. Because, dude, this thing is wobbling around on your head, dude. Like, you gotta have it secured. And I'm wasting battery right now because I see that adapter was on. And this chunk of metal, you see, is quite literally a chunk of metal. Why is it here? Well, because if I don't have this, the battery is so heavy that it pulls back on the headset, causing the eye tracking to not be as accurate, and it in general just less comfortable because it's constantly being pulled up on your head. So this is here to balance out that battery so that it's more of just a fat weight straight down rather than having a ton of weight one way. Now, it's just a piece of metal that I have because it's the only thing that I can find that's just like the perfect weight. I'm gonna find like some fishing weights or something small to counterweight it, but this is just for now. Like I said, I'm finding ways to improve this. This is just what I have now. And then there's hiding under this is a USB Type-C hub. Now, why do I have this Type-C hub? Because, like I said, Serenipal does not let you use the Vive Pace Tracker wirelessly. Now, the reason for that is when you're using that big tether, it boosts the signal of that Type-C port in your headset. So when you're using this, you don't get that extra power. Because most of your power is going to this thing, all to this thing, because this is what's distributing the power to your headset via their proprietary shit. So if you have a hub in here, it tricks the system. When I start up SteamVR and Serenipal, it still gives me that warning that says, hey buddy, Serenipal doesn't work wirelessly. But when I boot up VRC OSC, the FT, the face tracking OSC, it gives me face and eye tracking, not just eyes or just the face. So yes, it does work. However, it's very scuffed in the way of you will see random resolution degrading. Your screen may flicker a little bit because yes, it can distribute the power if you get a headset with big enough wattage distribution. But it's just so power hungry. This thing is so power hungry that it's just insane. And this thing just gets even hotter because it's having it's not just using the bandwidth of your display and all your audio through that little freaking thing over there to the PCI card. It's got to do all the bandwidth from this now. So if you combine all that, combined with that PCI card, your CPU will melt. Oh, like it will just completely melt. Like you need to have a good ass processor for this, or else it will not run efficiently. I run pretty efficiently. The hard part for me is getting it to start up. Like, it'll take up to 10 Steam VR restarts because this thing keeps crashing, or the face tracking works, or only the eye tracking works, or it says it works but in game it's not transferring the data, or if you start up too many of these too fast it crashes. It's just a mess. It takes forever to get this thing working. But sometimes when it works first try, it's like the best feeling ever to get this started up and make it work first try. Because like I said, this is not supposed to work. But, you know, if you believe in it, it'll work. So it does work. However, you know, also don't use the stock HTC cable for the battery power delivery, because it's just so thin. You know, I actually have it right here. Like, this thing looks like a freaking spaghetti noodle, bro. Like, I highly suggest using a thicker Type-C cable. I'm actually using the Linkbox cable, and it seems to be better. But, you know, like I said, this thing is so scuffed. So, yeah, and then I have my, like, charging station down here. It's like a bunch of cables. Why do you care? I don't know. But, yeah, and then we have all my dongles. These things are super sensitive. You gotta be careful with your USB bandwidth. I have them into a bunch of 2.0 splitters because they work better with 2.0s. I don't know why. I'm not gonna get into how these dongles act, but just know there's a lot of different things you can do, and they can make very big differences. Also, from my personal experience, these Vive ones, official Vive ones, are much better than these little scuffed ones that I have. These ones have been giving me issues. This one has just kind of broke this port. It hasn't worked ever since I took it out. But I definitely recommend just shelling out the extra money to get the official Vive ones, because from my experience, these things are not good. They work, but like I said, what I want to say here is, yes, this degrades your resolution sometimes. This whole thing is stressful on your PC. But in my personal experience, I'd rather have a slightly lower resolution, I'd rather have low resolution, but consistent FPS and consistency in general. Would you rather have an extremely realistic, super good looking experience, but then have to deal with crashing, and then end up spending more of your time dealing with getting this to start back up, rather than playing? Or just having a slightly worse experience, but having consistent hours of playtime? That's what I do. I would rather play longer and have worse resolution. I could care less about resolution. I would buy a Vive Pro Eye even if it was original Vive resolution, because I don't care. I just want seamless playtime, and that's what this thing delivers, is insane wireless capabilities. It feels so good to be without a wire and have maximum tracking. Like, I'm completely wireless to my PC, and I have 8 points of body tracking and full face tracking, and I can walk anywhere in this 7x6 area, and it'll be completely transformed to Avatar 4 to my PC. It's fucking amazing. But yeah, that's pretty much my setup. I mean, yeah, I don't know, I just wanted to go over it.